All right. We back.
Uh-huh.
I know we missed a week, but just regrouping.
Hope y'all missed us.
You know what I mean? Getting our content together. I'm Pez.
Control.
I'm Jack.
And we just talking. We got some cool guests coming up in the next couple weeks. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. But for now, it's us. But I'm gonna start off with a question.
What up?
What is a quote or something that somebody said to y'all? And I've been thinking about this. That's really stuck with y'all throughout your whole life, and maybe you haven't even understood it fully until now.
That's a good question. I got one that pops up off the top of my head. And there's definitely been times where I didn't agree with this, but I think overall I do agree with the message.
Yep.
My mom told me one time that she views day-to-day happiness as more of a choice rather than a reaction to the things around you. So she would say she chooses to be happy every day, and I would see her be happy every day while she was going through all these things that would make plenty of people very unhappy. But by deciding to take things head on and choose your happiness, she was able to kind of control the way she feels about things.
Yeah.
That's dope. I never really heard it put like that before.
Yeah. No, that's good. Shout out to Mama Jack.
For sure. I got one. In black households, we got
hella cool.
crazy ass sayings. And shout out to Mom Dukes, because I'm going with my mom too. She used to say, and my grandmas, all the older women used to say this in my family. I'm pretty sure you heard it before. I didn't get it until 22, 23. You don't believe in fat meat greasy. I still don't understand what the fuck that even means. You don't believe that fat meat is greasy.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't hear what you said the first time. But no, that makes sense.
So, but like I said, I didn't get it till I was in my 20s, actually going through shit. Actually going through shit, and actually, as far as just everything, all
that's
the facets of life.
Quote.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a black
most definitely
quote.
Bro, I'm telling you, every time she said it, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. It's insane.
Cause it's greasy as hell.
Bro, greasy.
That's all fat is. It's greasy.
That's all it
shit
is.
Shit is greasy out here. That's true. Bro. That's so applicable to how we deal with the kids that we work with.
Most definitely. No, I found myself saying it mad times, and they what are you talking about?
You're gonna find out one day. You're gonna find out when I give you this T-bone steak.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? You keep playing around with it
the whole time.
So that's a wild quote. Mine's is, me and my brother just talked about this. And my brother's dad, that's why I know it's my dad. He used to say this to us all the time. It's who the man of the house when I ain't there. And when you young, we was talking about this. When you young, you think, that's a cool thing. He going where he going, I'm the man. But it ain't when he going just out working, but when he going. And for a long time, just a little bit ago, it hit me. I called my brother. I was like, bro, you know what's wild is when our dad told us this. Because it made us grow up too fast and start to think when you ain't in the picture no more, not because you died, but just because you ain't in the picture, you just decided to go ahead and, you know what I mean? Which, Dad, if you watching this, you know what I mean? Don't be upset, but we going to talk about it. Because when I see you next, we going to talk about it. The whole time. But why even prepare us for something like that? Which means you had a choice. You know what I mean? Or you was thinking that this was even a reality. So in your mind, if that was a reality, why not make you in the household every day a reality?
Why plant the seed of you around?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's damn. And like I said, when you're young.
But at the same time, I get your sentiment. And I'm obviously on that side, just playing devil's advocate a little bit. I understand this thinking to a degree as far as it's just in my opinion, it's like a military father just preparing their kids for, you know what I mean?
For war.
In the case of, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just different circumstances. Granted, shit he doing in his life and the military's life, he's doing shit for his country. You know, he's fighting for his family. And while on the other side of that, the flip side to that coin is somebody who's just doing shit to feed their family, and they're willing to do whatever it takes. So,
and knowing that my choice is probably gonna fuck this household,
exactly,
which is crazy.
And so it could be seen, not? But I was gonna say it could be seen as that gesture right there could also be seen as I'm doing my best, or this is an opportunity to prepare y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a sense of, you know what I'm saying, not leading y'all, or even if it is leading y'all to the other shit. I'm still preparing you to be a man at the end of the day.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
But here's the other flip to that.
Yeah, no, it gets sick.
If you're gonna prepare me to be a man or handle these things, then you got to prepare me in the right way.
Exactly.
Because you know what I mean, growing up, how we grew up, where we grew up, what we saw was what we did.
Most
you know what I mean?
definitely.
So we was fighting all the time, affiliated, gang banging, you know, trying to make money on the streets, blah, blah, blah. But that's how we saw everybody else trying to do it, you know what I mean, or doing that. So it ain't like you unaware of what's going on. It's just like, these are the choices I'm going to make, and I'm going to prepare you to handle the choices that I'm making now. Which is wild to think about. It's like, if you already know that these choices that you're gonna make got bad consequences, why don't you prepare me the other way? Maybe you don't know how, which is
that's what
is right, but push me to somebody who do know how. You know what I mean? So,
and then not even just in our community, as a man, because I feel like a lot of just different fathers do this. They feel as though they don't want to, the ones who choose the opposite side of that coin, I feel like they feel as though doing that makes them less of a man, because like you just said, they don't know how.
Yeah.
And seeking for the help, they've been taught, that's not cool.
No,
like, that's not what men do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to prepare my seed how I see fit, and which ends up starting that cycle of just...
of good or bad. And that's true, especially like, because outside of inner city, how prominent households, they raise their kids in a way where they go and push them to go to college and you know, get careers. But sometimes even that way, it may all sound good, but you could be pushing the kids to doing something that they don't want to do, and a career that's not them, a path that they don't want to walk. You know. But if that's all you know, that's all you know. You know, if that's what your dad taught you. That's why you're a generation of, my dad was a cop, his dad was a cop, grandpa was, you know, so they all cops. But it's the same in neighborhoods where we grew up. You know, my dad sold drugs or gangbangers on the street, so was his dad, so my path here. And that's why it do seem like, I don't know, it's more of a accomplishment when we make it out of these things, but it's also harder because it is you trying to break years and years and years of the same thing. You know what I mean? That, to be honest, you trying to figure out yourself as you trying to get out of it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But what you currently in is what's easy. You know, it's easy to do because it's what you know. So yeah, no, it's
crazy. I never thought about the flip side to that coin, because it's probably, like you just said, the kid who's the son of a cop trying to break out of that. He probably wants to do something completely different.
But he gonna let this people
has
down.
To,
you're a failure if you don't.
Exactly. And they're gonna disown and all this extra. I mean, that's an extreme, but y'all get what I'm saying.
But it's crazy because me and my brother talked about this too. Just sticking with the households. It's like, I was happy it was only just me, my mom, and my brother in the house. Every boyfriend my mom got, me and my brother either beat up or tried to get him out. You know what I mean? Because at that point, going back to the quote, we was the man in the house now. Right. So somebody else trying to walk in to take that title, who my dad already said, you the man. Right. Like, so who this other person think he is coming in the crib trying to, and not even giving people chances at the same time. Mom, I love you, but some of the people she chose, you know, but it was, you grew up in the hood, they're the only people that's really there. You know, why me and my brother trying to think of ways out, and you trying to surround us with role models that's doing the opposite of what the fuck we trying to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's wild when you
Yeah, it
really
get
think
crazy.
about this dynamic.
Oh yeah.
It gets
Like,
crazy. It gets crazy.
Yeah, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
This is personal, whatever.
Sure.
When you grew up, did you grow up with both parents?
I grew up with both parents for the younger years of my life.
Mhm.
So as soon as I started to hit like double digit ages than my dad did, he wasn't living with us anymore,
Mhm.
and I haven't like had too close of a connection with him
Yeah.
since then. Seen him a handful of times, but
Mhm.
text him here and there. But
Yeah.
no, I didn't live with him since pretty young.
How was that change? Well, how was that change? Like,
It was a pretty big change at first. But I don't know, shout out my mom. She kind of took on both of those roles
Mhm.
as well as anyone could, and really showed out. But I feel like I had my dad in the years that were really important.
Mhm.
Like in those young years, I feel like that's when you really need both parents, if there is a time where you need both parents.
yeah, yeah.
And so he got me through that where I was starting to grow up, and then it was kind of on my mom and me to figure that out. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time you lived with both?
Probably when I was a toddler, but
Mhm.
they split when I was younger, so didn't really see. I've never really like witnessed them together.
Mhm.
But once he moved, or once he moved to Duluth, and I started coming out here for summers and
Mhm.
winters, and then he got married to my brother's mom.
Yeah.
That was when I feel like that was my first sight of just like I feel like a home. Actually,
Mhm.
what a home feel and what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was a great feeling.
Yeah.
It was a great feeling. But I didn't really, sort of like Jack, I didn't really have my dad in my teen years, just because of jail and shit like
Yeah.
that. But I relate to you in the sense that I feel like I did have him when I needed him, in the sense that I had him in those earlier years where it's important. Like I feel like those are the most important. Granted, I feel like it's always important. Like I don't want to be that type of dad. And I was gonna ask y'all as far as y'all family dynamics. Like, how do you see that? How do you envision that? Because I've always said, I kind of want to break the curse, but at the same time, when I became a man,
Mhm.
I peeped all the shit
No,
that brought him down,
Yeah.
and
And
all
some
this
of it you
shit,
didn't
the
recognize till you
temptation,
get
and,
older.
yeah, and then it's like,
Yeah.
damn, like
Well,
life had you fucked up for real.
I got a couple examples. Like, so in my life, like, you know, I had my real dad. I ain't know. Really, he got killed when I was 3, so I don't know him. It's wild though. People may not believe it, but I remember exactly where I was when my mom told me that he died. Like, I was in the living room of my house in Cohansey View. It's an old project, it's gone now. But my mom told me, because my dad usually picked me up every other weekend or something like that. But this part, I don't know why, I vividly remember. She told me, "Oh, your dad ain't coming, he died." And I was like, I went on the porch and cried. I remember that clear as day.
That's
Like,
insane.
which is
How old was you?
3.
That's
I'll
insane.
tell you, and it might sound crazy, but I remember this clear as day. But then, all right, so apart from him, then my brother's dad, who I was talking about, and then my pop, family that took me in, just really helped me get out of trouble. Chris Hilburn, love him to death. I mean, that's heart and soul. And I take different things from even all 3 of them, not even knowing my real dad, but knowing that if I ever have kids of my own, which I won't, but my partner has kids. He got 3. Love him to death. But I know that I always want to be present. Like, not out here making decisions that's going to keep me away from him. Then, like, from my brother's dad, it's a lot that he taught me when it comes to, like, work, hard work, making money, like, no matter what. And then just having a safe space. like even though him and my mommy lived together, we was all always over his house. They all lived with my grandma, his mom. But that was the safest place in the world for us because all my aunts and uncles was there, and we knew no matter what popped off, you can walk in that house and be safe. You good, and it's family because everybody was there every night. Big meals, holidays, big meals. You know, so it was family. It was safe, and they really taught you about toughness and shit like that.
Life lessons.
Yeah, life lessons. That, I mean, my aunt and uncles, no games.
Like, you say your grandma's house?
Yeah, my grandma's house.
That's where I feel like that's where all of the
cousins and life happened.
Yeah.
And when my grandma died, like rest in peace, Grandma Fat. We everybody kind of went on their own way after that. I mean, we ain't really have big family reunions no more. They tried, but they ain't what they used to be. You just there because you just feel like you gotta do it, not because you want to. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then for my adopted pop, pop took me in. He taught me like, no matter what you done did, because I done did some wild shit. But no matter what you did, that there is a path out. You know what I mean? And just being giving, like patient. He was patient with me because I was still wilding at times, even with him. But he was very patient with me.
How old was you?
Teens, young. In the
y'all
wild
don't
years.
know. A teen Pez is sick. Like I never met that nigga,
bro.
But I already know.
Sick.
I seen you. I probably would have got robbed.
Oh no, for real. We would have been fighting. I'm gonna tell you, I was wilding, and me and my brother, we was always fighting, doing whatever. I mean, we was out of control. But you find somebody that really lock in with you, and despite of what you doing, just gonna say, yo, that's my son. He got 3 real kids of his own. Never treated me no different. Like no matter what it was, never treated me different. And like all my brothers, to see that all the path that they on. My blood brother, he a cop now, going crazy. One of my brothers was on Wall Street for a while, and now working for a fund out in PA. Another one of my brothers worked for another big firm out in PA, financial stuff, and then one of my brothers do big marketing. So everybody doing good, but that's all. We pulled these different values in from my pop.
Right.
So from all 3 of them, I know what type of person I want to be, but then just kind of walking my own path too. And all the shit I done did or been through, just knowing like, all right, I want to raise kids to be this way, but still allow them to be themselves too. Yeah. How about y'all?
What about you, Jack? I'll go last.
I do, I envision myself as being like a pretty involved father. Not 100% in spite of the fact that I didn't have that for my full childhood. But I mean a little bit, right? You kind of want to give your kids what you didn't have, right? So I do want to take an extra step further and be a little more than my dad was for me. No shade to him, but yeah, I want to be there every day. I envision this is something that my family did. You mentioned the family meals. I think that's a really big good thing that you can do.
Yeah, sitting at the table,
right?
Really eating, passing the plate.
Everybody sees each other one time at least that day. Everybody talks to each other. You get real connection. Yeah. And so I want to be able to provide that kind of stuff. I want to be able to take my kid to whatever sports they are to end up doing. That kind of stuff. Yeah, be there to be an example, and I want to be able to be there for the transition into adulthood. I want to be able to help show you how to you know what it means to be a man, but then here are the actions that you need to take once you're in that place where it's time to be a man.
Yep.
No, yeah, most definitely. I can relate to that a lot. I feel as though I want to obviously be there more than my pops was, and it wasn't out of like you said, no shade to him, because it wasn't out of the fact that he couldn't be there. It was just poor choices at the time. You know what I mean? So I don't blame him for that. But at the same time, I just want to do better for my kids, and I also know that that's not something that you can kind of control. Because if you're working, you're just going to be replaced through the work.
Yep.
So it's like you're always going to be pulled away. But as long as I can instill those same lessons that my pops instilled in me to the same effectiveness, because I feel like all the shit he did was calculated in a sense that a lot of shit just stuck with me, and it's the reason I moved the way I moved today. And if I can just replicate that, I feel like I'll be great. But I also want my kids to have one mother, because my siblings, I have 4 siblings. We got different moms, and just the space away from each other while we were younger was just not ideal. And we were making up for it right now. That's why we mad close, and that's why y'all be witnessing the fights we would have had in the teen years, like right in front of y'all. So it's actually, it's dope, but at the same time, I do envy other families when I see them just in their adult sibling relationships. Like, so I want to be able to provide that for my kids, and I want a lot of them. So I gotta have a plethora, and also just a stable home. Like, I don't want to start too prematurely, and now they all fucked up for the rest of their life. Like,
switching off for the dads, what about the moms? Like, what was it like just growing up with moms? You know, a few once Pop left.
So my mom, I would say, I mean, of course, went above and beyond to like fill in both of those roles, and just like observing her day to day, putting in just like crazy amounts of effort. Just seeing her go to work, have a full day at work, come home, and be dealing with us, whether it's taking us to where we gotta go, like making us dinner,
because you got a sister
like
too.
Around the house. I have one sister that lived with me. And so it felt like she was on these like 12-hour days, and it's not like she just sat around and relaxed on the weekends either. It was now I have more time to do more stuff.
It ain't no break, no days off,
right? And so, seeing her just like kind of put on for everyone was really inspiring. And she told me like a few times that like she is taking on like both roles, and she embraced that in a way that I don't think you can expect everyone to be willing to do. So I was definitely grateful for the way that she stepped up.
Yeah, no, I get that. And before we go to you, like like I said, all can speak from the households, you know, black inner city. Like, you see a lot of, just say, athletes and people when they make it and get money. You know, they want to take care of their moms and this and that, which I respect and stuff. But I know from how me and my brother grew up, it was interesting. I think my mom love her to death. She also had a crazy challenge of trying to raise me and my little brother. And I'm going to tell you right now, like, you talking about demons, bro, we was wild. But I think we also, like, didn't know or understand, or maybe we did, and that's why maybe we was frustrated. I think we did know what our household was supposed to look like, what we were supposed to have there, and we didn't have it, so we acted out. You know what I mean? I think that was the biggest part. And then seeing choices not be made by, you know, my mom and stuff that was always, you know, that we thought was supposed to be beneficial for us, but they wasn't. You know. So yeah, it was. I learned a lot of what I don't want to do or be like, just from just having my mom in the crib. And like I said, she was raised how she, and you know, for a lot of times you blame her. You know, she wasn't a good mom. It's that her mom was. You know, she learned it from somewhere.
Yeah, when you get older, you realize.
You realize. Love my grandma to death. My grandma, wild dog, like wild.
That generation, bro,
was different because they they also live in an era. We talked about this a couple podcasts away where before my grandma, my great grandma, they had that stable household, you know. But that was years ago. My grandma was born in like 1912 or something. I don't even know. She died when she was 100. But you know, in that era, black households were strong. But then they also went through that split.
Yeah, where they started getting teared.
Yeah, they started
slowly
getting teared apart when the drugs
apart,
came in and gangs came in and stuff. You know, so my grandma was born through that split of having her dad in the house to him being gone. You know, and then her having to step up and just raise my mom. Then my mom just only raised us without ever having a dad in the house. So we didn't get that at first. You know, when you get older and realize, all right, this is something that just passed down. You know, so these choices my mom making and the things that she doing, she learned from somewhere, you know. And don't get me wrong, I think where I am now, you know, sometimes I wonder, like, dang, Mom, why wasn't you there? But I don't know. The thinking was different back then.
Yeah.
You know, the access to things was different back then.
And circumstances.
And,
There was a lot of circumstances that were back then. If they are now, there's mad more understanding and there's mad more people willing to help.
Exactly.
Back then, it was just like everybody for themselves, free for all, damn near.
Definitely. And don't get me wrong, the hood still kind of like that.
Yeah, most definitely.
As much as we scream for, like,
mental
togetherness,
health,
mental health,
all these
supporting,
buzzwords.
dog,
Yeah.
we don't.
We don't do
Like,
none of that.
we bicker and fight too much, and it's purely because we all trying to get to the same place. We all trying to get out of here into a successful place. So sometimes instead of love being shown, it's envy and jealousy being shown. It's like, oh, you think you better than us because you wait. Nah, but yeah, you know why?
No,
Because
the whole time because
like, we did it.
yeah,
you know
and
what I mean?
you can't even look at help without trying to attack it.
Exactly.
So it's like I can't. I genuinely can't help.
Yeah, or ask for help because people are rubbing in your face. Oh, I help you get here. You owe me this.
Exactly.
Nigga, don't help me then. Don't help me get nowhere. Don't help me with nothing. Don't ask me for advice.
And that further discourages other people to ask for help because you
Exactly.
just shitting on the next person.
That's it. You know what I mean? And
You
then they
just-
wonder why we get on so many other people for treating us wrong, but we forget. And I heard Kevin Gates say this. He said, "You know who shit on me more than anybody else? People who look like me." And it's a wild thing to think about.
That's insane.
Insane to think about. But yeah, go ahead. Run it back to the
So
moms. Yeah.
as far as me and my Dukes, I'm her only kid, so it was just me and her for the longest. And but she has two sisters, and one of my aunties has like 8 kids, and the other one has like 9.
Oh damn.
Or she had 9 for the longest, or she had 7 for the longest, and she just had 2 more probably about a decade ago.
Okay.
But so I was never really alone when I was there.
Yeah, cousins up.
And we was always at my grandma's house, so you know how that go. We was just talking about that. So we was always into some shit, stealing from stores, this, that, and the third. And I feel like those women did the best they could with the resources and the shit that they had. I'm not saying that they had a fucked up system or anything, but the system is fucked up. So in turn, they did the best with the cars they had. And I feel as though we're not all fucking Wall Street, but I feel like we're all better off than what we could have been if they were never there. Yeah. So hats off to those women. But at the same time, my mother was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. So I was dealing with those mental health issues. She never really had a mental trip in front of me, but she never really had it to where or put me in a state of where I was fearing for her. You know what I mean? Whenever she was tripping, I always felt safe. I never really knew what was going on. Like I never even knew that she was tripping. I just knew like something was going on. So so I ended up staying with my grandma for a large part, and that's where just you get a lot of those life lessons with cousins and just the mental games of just older cousins and little cousins, and you the youngest, so now you got to do certain shit, and that shit was ass until it was another new youngest, and we was on your ass now. So I mean, but it was beautiful. I feel like those are probably like my favorite years of my life, looking back on it, because I learned damn near all the lessons as far as social life goes there. But my mother, she really instilled the hard work, just like Jack said, because just watching her deal with that, but still job after job after, you know what I mean? Like steady elevating, steady just never getting stagnant, never. And when she was stagnant, it was like, because she went through a period where she didn't work and went through, I would like to say depression. It was depression, but the second, I don't know what it was. It was like she just pulled herself out the rubble because, I don't know, it was a deep depression because it lasted for a while. But when she came out of there, it was like, I don't know, it was some movie type shit. Like out of the phoenix out the ashes and started just going crazy again. So it was like, I don't know, seeing that, you can't never, I mean, I had the same shit. And it was like, I got to remember what she went through. I got to remember she never just sit and let this shit fuck her up and let life take her down. She really rose through life and took the bull by the horns.
Yeah, I get that. And it's wild because, I don't know, it made me think about this. Like, our family grew up in church heavy. But, and as beneficial as you think it is, like, as a kid and stuff, I also realized, man, my brother talked about this, is like how much it held my mom back. And specifically meaning this, like, there was a lot of times I heard my mom say, "Oh, we good, God gonna handle it." But in my mind, I'm thinking, well, that don't mean you just gotta sit back and do nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
we should try
just
to figure
really
it
just
out.
wait. You know what I mean? Like, God gonna drop
me.
this blessing off any moment.
God
So I'm gonna
me.
just chill.
Yeah.
Yo, and that sometimes that put us in a situation where me and my brother was like,
had
all right,
had to go get it.
God he ain't even pop in yet. You know what I mean? You sure he heard you? You know what I mean? So yeah, we gotta go get it our own self and, you know what I mean, in ways that.
But on that note, the flip side of that coin, AC's mom is the one who had us in the church frequently. So whenever I'm here on winters, summers, any type of break, Sunday religiously every morning, Sunday school, Bible study, all of that, the whole nine. But I mean, looking at the time, it's like, fuck all this shit. I'm not really trying to do it. I'm just a kid. I'm trying to go home, play on the PS4, play on the PSP. Like, I'm not trying to really do none of this shit. But like I said, the flip side to your coin, and like how she is as an adult, like I feel like she knows I'm not too religious, but at the same time, she never really forces it on us at all.
Yeah, we had it forced.
But and I give it more of a respect in my opinion, just because I was able to. I feel like those are where the lessons I get to just not be an asshole and just be a good person, a genuinely good human being, rather than
morals and stuff like that. Yeah, you learn a lot.
So it's like I don't know. I feel like that's where I learned all of that from, and that's what pushes me to continue to try to be a good person. Yeah. But as far as I don't know, I'm still fighting with religion and how I feel about it. I mean, we talked about it a couple pods ago.
Yeah. Did y'all, how about y'all growing up? Did y'all go to church?
We did for like a handful of years. We went to church like every Sunday. Me and my dad hated it because we were trying to watch football. Which we would still get back in time to watch football, but I was trying to watch the pregame before the football game. Yeah. And so that was really cramping my style. But,
no, my pops would leave early. I'd be like, damn, I can't go in.
But we would go for like a handful of years, and then I went to like Sunday school at church on Sundays and whatever. And
Sunday school was jumping.
I was never feeling it.
No, it was. Ours was jumping too.
Service, I was never really feeling Sunday school. And then I had to do confirmation, which I really wasn't feeling. Which is like, I don't know if you guys know.
No, confirmation is crazy.
This.
When I heard the concept of it, that confirmation is.
Oh yeah, I've always thought it was insane.
Yeah, I put up such a fight.
Hold up, explain it for the listeners, because some people probably want to know.
So I'm pretty sure the idea is like you go through all these classes and do these lessons, and then at the end of it, it's like a little ceremony where you're essentially like taking whatever commitments your parents like say when you get baptized as like your own commitments, like yeah, I'm going to like claim these as what I'm trying to do. And so I went through the class every like week. I would complain about going. I made it all the way to the last class, still putting up a fight about going. And then my mom finally told me, like, if you're willing to quit, like on the last day, like you can quit. So I quit.
Okay.
And I don't really intend on going back to church.
Yeah.
I'm not like against it or anything. I think it's a nice way to like focus people's thoughts and kind of give people a path if they feel like they need one. But outside of that, I don't think it's really for me.
Yeah. No, I get that. And I used to be like heavily involved. I mean, memorable. I was the lead singer of the choir, which was crazy.
No, that's
and our choir was, we had like 100 kids. I mean, our church is big. This church called Union Baptist Temple.
Yeah, you was out east.
Yeah.
Our shit was smaller.
Bro,
it was real small.
Union Baptist, we had probably 4,000 or 5,000 people. Like, it was like huge, bro. And like I said, we was heavy involved. Sunday school was jumping because the whole hood went to the same church damn there. You know, so we look forward to seeing people we ain't seen, you know, in a while. And this Sunday, I know I ain't seen some of my friends that live out on the south or up on the hill or something. You know, I won't see them again till Monday or whatever. So it was jumping, and church was jumping. But then you get to the age for us where you just realize, like, this kind of wild. You know what I mean? Like, the same people I see shouting and falling out, it's the same people
on the block
with that Yao Ming, you know what I mean, getting high,
shooting crabs,
wilding. And I'm just like, okay. And then them same people super judgmental towards you when they see, you out here wilding, you know,
like you didn't, like you wasn't wilding with them.
Like I ain't just selling you these drugs, bro. Get out my face. You know,
know.
It's crazy. Then when I end up coming out as gay and stuff, that's when then you really see people. You know what I mean? We can't have you in here around these people and this people. I'm thinking you just cheated on your wife not too long ago. I don't want to say.
And then consistently,
did, I know you was just with a dude.
Look,
and you the pastor, right? Not my bad. You know what I mean? I'm really now. You starting to this how y'all go here on this Sunday
and act higher than them.
Yeah,
and I feel like I didn't see none of shit like that until I got older, and that's kind of what turned me off to religion in general. Granted, I still believe in certain things as far as the higher power and, like you said, the morals, but at the same time, the people who are here are really just people.
That's it. And they say, you can't judge God off of people, which I get that. You know, at the same time, if you
wait, what was that quote? You can't judge God off of people. But
so you can't judge who God
but
is
I thought
based on, but we supposed to be His representation here, right or wrong. You know what I mean? That's a whole we get to that. You know what I mean? But it is just like, if we ain't really got no examples to look after. I think about the Catholic Church. In my mind, it's wild to think that people still go to Catholic churches. Don't get me wrong, I get they all ain't out here wilding, but it's a wild thing. The Vatican.
Who was that said suck my tongue? That was the
what?
Who was that?
I don't even know.
But wasn't it the Pope? That wasn't the Pope?
It might have been the
trying to suck the tongue.
I don't even know, but
Dalai Lama or some shit like that.
All I know is Dalai Lama.
Bro, one of y'all.
I
don't know who it was, so don't quote
y'all
me.
Watching this at the Vatican.
But one of y'all did that sick ass shit.
But it's just, it's a crazy, just thought to know that.
Through all of that, niggas still like believe.
Savages.
No, still believe. Like, how can you still continue to go here every day religiously?
Because hell is a thing. For a lot of people, and I asked a lot of people, for religious people this period, because a concept of hell exists in every point of religion. Is if hell didn't exist, would you believe what you believe? And for a lot of people, they don't know how to answer that. Because
they're just
you
scared
can't,
of the bad stuff.
That's it. You can't mention heaven without hell.
Well,
You can't. Or you can't think about heaven without the flip side.
Because who cares about heaven if the alternative isn't
exactly.
Most
You know what I mean? At
definitely.
that point, you're like, oh, I'm good, just doing what I'm
Most
doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then the Book of Eli really threw my shit off when I watched that like 16, 17. and dude is explaining it in a sense he like, I can control the world with this one book.
And
He got the last one.
Got
The
last
only one on earth. And I can
Mhm.
control the entire world if I just obtain this book.
Religion got people in a chokehold.
bro,
And blindly in the chokehold.
No, for real.
There are some people that are devout and they study it, but there's some people that just. I talk to more people that say they Christians and know nothing about the Bible than anything. And I went to a Bible college for 2 years. That's all I did was study the Bible for 2 years, and then worked all of their camps for like 4 or 5 years after. You know what I mean? So I was in the heavy. I can go toe. To me, I honestly think I can go toe to toe with anybody. Like when it comes to this religious stuff, because I understand it, I get it. I've lived through it. I've been pushed out of it. You know what I mean? Seeing some people do foul stuff. You know, so it's crazy when you really get people in front of you that think I'm way better than you. Because and a lot of people, they only sin to them is they just want to compare it. So
Most
they want to
definitely.
know what you doing so they can say, oh, what you doing is way worse than I'm doing. So God ain't going to judge me as much as they judge you. I
Because he's
still
busy
get,
with you.
I
Yeah.
still get
Right.
people like that. Somebody messaged me the other day. I ain't going to say who it was because I love this person to death. But I had put a snap up. And I think I cussed in it. And it's like, oh, I'm worried about you. I'm praying for you. I was like, for what? What did you worry about? Because I said bitch? Well, that's crazy.
That's
like, you
insane.
really judge me that
Yeah.
hard. Or you think I'm that much less than you because you saw me cuss or something like that. Bro, that's wild to me. I mean, insane. Like, y'all really just, at this point, I don't know if y'all could survive outside of your
Man.
bubble. This
No,
shit'll
for
eat
real.
y'all up.
For real.
It'll eat
And
y'all up outside of
there's
your
mad people, and it's not just religion. It's mad people in political fractions and certain hives that just, if they're ever outside of that hive
it's
or
over.
fraction, it's
because they
over.
comfortable.
Yeah, and they're
It's the
too
only-
into the crowd of sheep.
That's it.
They're
Yeah.
like, this literally moves your life.
That's it. Like,
And
and it
that
is.
shit is insane.
That's like we always get that quote: "Trump is racist."
Yeah.
Give me your example. And a lot of people can't give you examples. Or on the flip side, all people that's liberal want to push the gay agenda or whatever. And it's like, it's really, I'm gay and I don't really push that shit. Like, what for what? I never needed nobody to tell me that I was gay or see it on TV or watch a movie. I never needed that. If that's who you are, or that's just who you is.
All the time.
People can figure out these things on themselves. I feel like that even when it comes to the church. It shouldn't. The more you force it on me, the more I'm going to walk away
The
from
whole
it.
time.
Let me figure this out on my own.
Exactly.
And even in the Bible would say God going to reveal Himself to people through their own ways. So just let me figure it out. Because if the example of God is you, I'm never gonna get in this shit. If I'm gonna be honest, bro, it's over. Like that combo done. But
Yeah, but we're not talking about the people, like, because there are people who, the opposite side of that coin. We might as well call me the heads or tails
you know,
today,
Roswell,
because I'm
that's it,
just
'cause you just coined
devil's advocate, but double entendre.
Yeah,
But
double,
look, but I feel as though people like Miss Kim, everybody she brings here.
Yeah.
It's so many people I can't name y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but we appreciate y'all because they never come here forcing an agenda. They never come here. They only come here with an
To show
open
love.
heart
That's
and
it.
to work
Yeah.
and to help and to really get to know the kids.
Which I think are good examples of religion.
Oh, very true.
Exactly,
And if
bro.
they
I
get a
think
chance to
that's the
talk
way it's
about
supposed to go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if they get a chance to talk about Jesus, they will.
Exactly.
It ain't just fire or
Yeah, it ain't just
y'all nut
every
asses.
time I pull up on you, I'm firing on
Yeah,
you.
you know what I mean?
Every time I pull up, and it's not just Christians. It's
Oh,
some
yeah.
Muslim. I know Muslim guys that do that. I know a bunch of people that just come through and force their message on
That's
you.
it.
It's like that's not how you get it across,
Same with Mormons. I mean, they ride them bikes everywhere,
Bro.
catching you.
bro.
Nigga, did you read the
bro.
Latter Day?
Yo,
Let's not. Let's not even. Because y'all ain't. And this is the thing that bothers me. There's a lot of people that want you to be open-minded to their message, but they don't want to hear
Nope.
shit you got to say.
No,
and I'm telling you now, if you talk to me, you better be ready for me to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, because we both
Most
gonna have these
definitely.
conversations
Most
on
definitely.
each side. The more you want me to think, you gonna think.
Yeah, and I'm open-minded. I'm not finna completely just
shut off.
Shut off your. Yeah, I feel like I want to hear you out and look from your point of view. But the second you deny that choice from me, I'm not want to give it back.
I wasn't
reciprocate
doing it
that.
for
Yeah.
fun.
Exactly. Man, we covered some stuff today, man.
Whole time.
We really did. This was a good one.
Great one.
Yep.
What should we name this? Should we name it? We can get to the name later.
Households and church homes.
And I had a good one. Inheritance.
Inheritance. I like that. That sounds like a sermon almost.
You feel me?
There we go.
Inheritance.
Household and inheritance.
Thank you for joining us for Light Skin episode 8. We on 8, y'all.
8.
Inheritance.
Rolling. We almost in double digits.
This was good. Thank y'all for watching.
Appreciate you.
We'll see y'all next weekend. We out of here.